Hi, my name's Phil. I'd like to talk about politics. In this video I'd like to discuss a bit of an elephant in the room, in that senior Conservatives are constantly saying that various wealthy people should be donating to help the country and the NHS, and Conservative media barons laud the exploits of more humble people doing the same. But none of them are doing likewise. But first, if you'd like to be notified of daily news and politics, then please subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification icon. So, Gareth Bale has become the latest in a line of top footballers to donate a large sum of money to a healthcare charity, NHS charities in this case. Since the lockdown measures, I noticed that Conservative ministers have not been shy about saying that footballers in particular should be taking pay cuts and all sorts of things in order to show solidarity. Now, we all know the reason that they're doing this, and it's not because wealth offends them. You understand a socialist in such times being offended if people are making a lot of money in these times and giving little or nothing back to the society that allows it to have such a lifestyle but is now struggling. Now, their criticism was to divert blame away from themselves and give the media something to feed on. And when Matt Hancock, the Health Secretary, was asked if he would take a pay cut to show solidarity with not only the people of Britain but his own views, he said, "No, I won't be doing that." Similarly, with the exploits of Captain Tom Moore, the 99-year-old veteran who has raised in excess of £20 million for NHS charities, even the right-wing newspapers had no problem plastering this good news all over the front pages. This includes the newspapers of the Barclay brothers and Rupert Murdoch, all billionaires and Conservative donors, and all happy to say how much they love the NHS at a time like this, before they revert to their usual attacks on the NHS once this is all over. And none of them have donated anything at all to the cause. I mean, just for a little bit of a rundown, Rupert Murdoch is believed to be worth £13 billion, Barclay Brothers between them £8 billion. Not a penny seems to have been donated to anything that will help us through this crisis. And I hardly think that they're doing so anonymously because, well, they aren't shy about donating to other causes. And what about senior members of the government? They're not billionaires, they're nothing like on the scale of the Barclay brothers or Rupert Murdoch, but they are nonetheless millionaires. Even the extremely wealthy Jacob Rees-Mogg, who's into triple figures of millions. But there are multi-millionaires in their numbers in cabinet and could easily afford to donate something. But not a bean has been donated them. And why? You know, if they're so insistent that others of a similar or even lesser wealth should donate, and they're so pleased with the people who do, how come collectively they've all donated less to these causes than I have as an individual? And this is where actions really do speak louder than words. If they say they support a thing, but there's no action to back up the cheap words, then what conclusion does that leave you with? Now, that's not to say that no Conservative has been donated, simply that none of the ones in government or in the media that are so happy to pronounce judgment on others have done so. The Duke of Westminster, for example, donated £10 million. Little enough for him, of course, but it's still a show of some connection with society that allowed him to become a billionaire in the first place. And I'm not in the habit of judging amounts with donations within reason. I mean, if he'd have only donated a fiver, I might have call that into question. It's more the feeling behind it. You know, the senior Conservatives are showing that they have so little regard for our society that they won't even spend our tax money on the NHS, let alone put any of their own money in. They render the NHS to the status of a charity, which is appalling those of us on the left, that we should actually be celebrating the fact that money has been raised for what should be being funded out of our taxes. You know, we think it should be a fully funded national health service, not part of a privatised monstrosity. But those on the right of politics feel differently. They do not believe in a public health service. Fine, they have those views, they're entitled to those views. That's okay. So if the NHS is a charity to them, and that's perfectly reasonable, why aren't they donating to it? Simple. Because although they're happy that it's been looked at as a charity, they don't actually think that it's a charity worthy of their support. But those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Hope you found the video interesting. If you did, don't forget to click the like button. And if you'd like to support the channel further, then please also click the Patreon link for details. And until next time, I'll see you later.